Amateurs deal ultimately in sale prices and purchase prices, and professionals actually deal in changeover costs. Now, why is this such a critically important component? Naturally, before the property boom, you would have had a property at $1 million. You're trying to buy one for $2 million, changeover costs, $1 million. All of a sudden, property markets rose. Your $1 million property now 1.1. The one you want to buy, it's actually 2.2. Changeover costs now $1.1 million. Then all of a sudden, you actually see the market starts to shift. The $1.1 million property stays relatively stable. That's where a lot of investors want to hang out, where a lot of first home buyers want to hang out. And then in addition to that, the one at 2.2, maybe that's the one that started to soften in relation to its sale price. Now you could probably buy it for $2,050,000. You're in a position, you're still selling yours for 1.1. The changeover cost is actually $950,000. You see, in a declining market, there are three very specific people that this really helps. The first one, without a doubt, is people that are buying up. If you're selling out of a unit into a house, perfect time to do it. Naturally, if you're selling out of a smaller house into a bigger house, also the perfect time to do it. In addition to that, investors. Investors naturally sold as we came to the top of the property clock, and the interesting conversation about that is they cashed out. They took all of that capital gain off. Now, all of a sudden, in some locations, we're actually seeing a significant increase in rent. And when we see a significant increase in rent, what does that mean? Naturally, investors come back because now they're getting return on their money. And then there's the third type of person that really benefits from this marketplace. Now, without a doubt, is all of the first home buyers. First home buyers have got heaps of government incentives. And naturally, as the rents are starting to increase, they're starting to find some locations where it's actually cheaper to go and buy the property than it is naturally to go and pay the rent. So your skill, without a doubt, is to be a great real estate agent where you start really thinking about those changeover costs when you're working with buyers and sellers. Naturally, the seller says, you know what, I actually can't sell. I need to get a minimum of $1.2 million for my property. Not realizing that when they want to buy for 2.2 has now been on the market for 60 or 70 days. They could probably get it for $2,050,000, and if they got it for that, then they could probably sell theirs for $1,050,000 or maybe even 1.1, because naturally they can afford that actual changeover. Your skill as a great agent is to work with all of the stakeholders. Think about those people that assist in getting the finance done, having the conversations with the solicitors, really making sure that your buyer is clear about what they're actually planning to do. Write out all of the buying costs, write out what the actual selling revenue would be, minus any of the costs associated, so you know the net revenue amount. Then all you do is you literally have a look at what we need versus what we've got, and the balance, you're either going to have to bring cash or you're going to have to go to the bank and get a mortgage. And that's what great agents do. They realize that in every market, it makes a market. And which market is this market making? The market you make.